Hello and welcome to How to Make More Sales with me, Anna Payne, supporting you to make more sales in a way that feels good for you and your clients. If you're ready for more sales, more impact, more success and more money on your terms, you're in the right place. Hello and welcome. Today's episode will help you make your next sale within the next week, and actually, potentially even today if you are quick to take action. One of the things that I absolutely love about teaching sales is how quickly you can see results. An action that you take today can result in money arriving in your business bank account the same day. But of course, like most other success, it does also depend on you taking action. So commit to being that action taker. And that is exactly what I am going to help you to do in this episode. I am going to walk you through 5 easy, simple, straightforward actions that you can start today to generate more sales. Before we get into the actions, I want to quickly acknowledge that some of you listening may feel some resistance to sales. Before we go any further, let's reframe this quickly. The whole purpose of a business is to acquire clients and to sell products and services. As a business owner, it is your job to sell, and there should be no hesitation, no doubt, or no shame attached to that. You are doing what you are meant to do. And let's also recognise that selling your products and services is not only how you create income, it's how you create impact. It's how you help people. So if you know what you do matters, stop holding back, stop playing too small, and instead start thinking about being of service. Commit to learning, growing, and becoming the best and most successful salesperson you can be. Doing this is going to have the single biggest impact on your business. Right, let's get going. 5 actions to create your next sale. Action number 1. Sell more to your existing clients. The easiest place to start. When somebody has bought from you once, they are much more likely to buy from you again. The probability of selling to an existing client is somewhere between 60 and 70%, compared to between 5 and 20% for a brand new prospect. And existing clients not only tend to buy more easily, they are also likely to spend more because of the level of trust that they have with you. So, what is the natural next step for your current clients? Could you offer an upgrade, additional or ongoing support or services, some kind of VIP experience, perhaps a done for you element, a higher level of access or support? What have you seen that works for your industry and your client group? What would they love? What feels good and exciting and fresh for you to offer and deliver? And you can absolutely choose whether you feel that it's right to create one exclusive client offer that goes to your entire client list, or whether you want to review each client individually and create something bespoke just for them. As an example, I might offer a retreat or an in-person event, and I might just offer those things out exclusively to all of my existing clients. Or I might decide that I'm going to look at all of my clients individually. I know that one of them is struggling in one area, so perhaps I'll offer them some extra support there. One client is really busy just now and is a team member down. Perhaps I can offer them some kind of done for you element. I've got another client who soon will be at the end of her 3-month package with me. Perhaps I can come up with a follow-on or alumni offer. When you think about client lifetime value, that can be a huge indicator of your overall success, and it feels really good, especially if you are a coach, a consultant, some kind of service provider. Building these long-term relationships and partnerships with clients where you know each other well, you work together deeply over a long period of time. I believe that for most of us, that's where we're going to do our best work. Step number 2 is a similar idea, but this one is about winning back lapsed clients. So who are the people that have worked with you before but are not currently working with you? These are warm relationships. There's already trust there, and just like your existing clients, they're more likely to buy from you than a cold prospect, and they're more likely to spend more money because there's already trust here. And again, you can create one offer that is part of a win-back campaign that will go to all of your lapsed clients, or you can commit to doing individual check-ins with people, finding out what is going on for them, what are they up to, how are things going, what have they got coming up, and how can you be of service and support to them. Now, I recommend the second option because you're going to get much more information, higher quality of conversations, more feedback. So start creating these conversations, downloading your client list from Stripe or from your CRM or from your head, wherever it may live, and think about, okay, I'm going to look back 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or all time, and think about all of the people that you've worked with and the ones that you would love to work with again. Reach out to them and find out what is going on. Offer to help them with something. Even if these people don't want to work with you right now, you can ask them, what do they have coming up in the future that you might be able to support them with? You can agree to check back in with them in a month, 3 months. You can also ask them if they ever filled in your client feedback form or left you a review, and if not, would they mind doing that now? You can ask them if they have anybody in their network that would benefit from what you do or what you offer. These conversations are likely to bring a lot of opportunity and feel good. There are usually quick and easy wins here too. All right, action 3, follow up with warm leads. And again, there is usually so much potential here for people. A lot of potential sales are sitting on a tracker or in your inbox or perhaps even just in your head, just waiting to happen, waiting, sometimes waiting some more, but often a bit of proactive follow-up can get them from pending to complete. So through being proactive and following up, you can not only move things along, but you can uncover and address any questions or hesitations, and you can either get people over the line or simply get clarity yourself on whether or not the sale is going ahead, instead of just waiting. Now, if you hadn't guessed, I hate waiting. I am quite impatient when it comes to business, and I like to be really proactive. Now, I'm going to caveat that by saying I am not ever pushing people to say yes or trying to push them into something that they don't want, but what I'm trying to push them towards is the place where they can make a confident decision. And that prospective client can say, yes, I'm going to buy. No, I'm not going to buy, in which case, absolutely, I will always respect that decision. Or, no, this isn't the right time for me right now, but I am interested in the future, in which case they will just move along my leads tracker and I'll follow up with them again at an agreed and appropriate date. So I am impatient and I'm keen to move things along, and I think we can all benefit from that kind of approach, but with the caveat that that's not about pushing people into saying yes. If I'm thinking about following up with leads, I imagine those names, and we are sorting this big bundle of unsorted names into yes, no, never, or not just now, but maybe in the future. And that makes me feel happy, and it makes me feel comfortable, and it makes me feel like my sales process is going well because I have dealt with all of these leads and I understand exactly where each of these people are in the process. What makes me feel uncomfortable and that I haven't been managing my process well is when I have a large list of names on my leads tracker and I've got no idea. Are they a yes? Are they a no? Are they a maybe? Because they're just there and I'm just waiting. So following up with your leads isn't necessarily about getting everybody to say yes, but it's getting to the point where by the end of the month, all the leads that have come in, you've been able to move them forward into the appropriate category for them. So think about follow-up through that lens. So we don't want to rush people in a way that doesn't feel comfortable for them, but we do want to make sure that we are keeping things moving, because I think one of the mistakes that business owners can make is they take things for granted. Oh, that person said they're going to buy this program. That person said they will work with me one-to-one. Oh, they did say they were interested, but I haven't followed up with them. Or I've sent a proposal, I'm just waiting for them to make the payment or sign the contract. And then it never happens. And then there's this kind of weird feeling afterwards where you're left wondering, what went wrong with that? Did I do something wrong? Did something change? And everybody feels a bit awkward. But follow-up allows you just to create certainty for both of you about what is actually going to happen. So this is action 3, move things forward professionally, proactively and promptly. So think about people who have inquired, people who've had a quote, people who've had a discovery or a sales call with you, people who've shown interest but have not yet made that final decision, maybe people who have a contract or a payment link or a proposal but haven't confirmed, maybe people who attended an event or came to one of your launches or challenge events, people who've said they're going to work with you but haven't taken action yet. All of these people have already expressed intent, so your job is simply to follow up and draw this to its natural conclusion. And honestly, it's amazing the amount of money that is sitting on the table, and when you are proactive and when you start follow up, you can start to pick some of that money up off the table and bring it into your business. So a couple of examples of that. I had a client who was 4 days away from month end. She decided she wanted to bring in some more money, and actually she was going to commit to 30 minutes of follow up a day. Within the week, she brought in an additional additional 5k of revenue. I had another client, and I didn't actually know this client. She messaged me on LinkedIn. I have a small digital course that teaches follow-up, how to do it, what to say, when to do it, when to stop, what to do if somebody ghosts you. So it's a small course. So somebody messaged me on LinkedIn to say that they'd bought the course, they'd watched it that morning, and they'd implemented some of it. And by lunchtime, they had 3 sales at £1,000 each. She then sent me another message early evening, basically saying, I'm so sorry for stalking you on LinkedIn DMs, but I just have to tell you, this is amazing. This has transformed everything. And she brought in another £7,000 sales just by that evening. And yes, maybe if she hadn't done follow-up, some of it would have come in, but some of it might not have. And we don't know when it would have come in. And it's not just about reminding people to buy. Very often people haven't bought because they just need one question answered, or there's something that's not quite right about the proposal that they just want to talk through with you, or they've got one question or a niggling doubt that you can quite easily just cover off with them. So do your follow-up. It's action. You are just helping people make positive and confident decisions. All right, action 4, personal outreach. So we're moving slightly wider when we're thinking about our leads and our audience, but it's still relationship led. I am going to suggest that you reach out to around 10 people in your network who are reasonably warm. So this could be existing connections, new connections, people who click links in your emails, people who watch your Instagram stories, people who've just subscribed to your LinkedIn newsletter, people you've met in networking, people who are just in your world and you get the feeling that they're interested in what you do. Start a conversation with these people and see what happens. Now, depending on how well you know this person, it could be that you are telling them you've got something you think that they'd be a great fit for. It could be offering them something. It could just be starting a conversation with regards to what you do. Just see what happens when you proactively start conversations with warm people in your world and ask if they need your help or share how you think you might help them. Now, I do have a rule for personal outreach because if you are in business, you're probably used to being cold pitched online in a way that feels pretty rubbish. Now, I don't want to do that because that, for me, is a waste of time. I feel sorry for people who are putting all that effort into sending these messages and I'm sure they get virtually nothing back. Cold, spammy outreach just turns people off, breaks trust, and people are not interested. We don't want to be doing cold, spammy outreach. We want to be creating warm sales conversations and opportunities. So here's the rule, 3 Ps. The first, personalised, why you're contacting them. It was great meeting you at networking last week, or thank you for downloading my lead magnet, or hey, we've been connected on LinkedIn for a while, but I don't think we've chatted, or lovely to meet you at the event. Thank you for commenting on my post. Hey, I was interested in something you said when I saw your talk at such and such an event. But it's personalised. That's number 1. Number 2 is to the point. So you're telling them the reason that you are contacting them. One of the things that drives me most potty is people who ask really vague, open questions that require me to go into this back and forth. And some people are so persistent. Hey, how are you? Lovely to meet you. Lovely to be connected. I like making new connections. How are you today? How's your day going? Do you have anything nice planned for this weekend? Do you have any holidays this year? How long have you been in business for? And I'm kind of like, look, so my default response now, if people pitch me in that way, is just to say, just pitch me. I know you're going to pitch me. Just pitch me. I'm busy and I can quickly tell you if I'm interested or if I'm not. So that whole like get to the point quickly, I think is good. And I think people appreciate that honesty. And number 3, permission based. I will never just send a link to buy. I will never send a link to download my freebie or a link to join my free challenge. I will always ask permission. I will say, I've got this thing. I think you could be a great fit for it. Or I've got this new resource. Or I've got 30 days free in my networking membership, or whatever the thing is. And then I'll say, shall I send you the link? Would you like the information? And I'm asking a question, and it's such a small but subtle shift. But that small but subtle shift into permission-based selling, it makes people feel as though they have autonomy. And by saying, yeah, sure, send it over, they're giving you permission to sell to them. So 3 Ps, personalised, to the point, and permission-based. A lot of people feel very resistant to personal outreach because so much of it is done so badly. But actually, if you stick to those 3 Ps, and if you get in the habit of trying to start 10 good conversations a day, this really is a great way to to promote your business and to make more sales. I'm recording this in April 2026. The world has really changed when it comes to sales. A few years ago, we could be much less proactive. We could put a post on social media and we could wait for people to come and find us. I don't think that happens so much anymore. So mastering that personal outreach is really important. So do not skip this step, even if it feels mildly uncomfortable. Okay, final action. Action 5, we are going to create a simple piece of content that is designed to get people in your audience to raise their hands somewhat if they are interested. Now that could be a direct selling post where you share your offer, perhaps along with some compelling social proof like a client review, and you share your offer with a link to either book, buy or apply. Or it could be more about just getting them to show some kind of interest. So for example, I've got an online networking membership. Everybody gets the first 30 days for free. I will link it in the show notes here if you want to come and join us, or it's annapayne.online/networking, small plug for the networking, which is an amazing community. But if I wanted to get some leads for that, I could either just do a post that talks about the networking, why it's different, why it's special, why I think everybody should join, share some photos and some reviews of it with a link. Join now and claim your free 30 days. That's a direct sales post. Sometimes a direct sales post is really the appropriate thing to do and that will get results. But other times you might just prefer to start some more conversations. So I might ask a question. Who here goes networking regularly and who has go networking more often on their to-do list? And then people will tell me in the comments and then that allows me to start conversations. Thanks so much for commenting on my post. So great to hear that you love networking. Did you know I've got my own network? I'd love to send you through the information about it. Please let me know if you'd like me to share the link. You get your first 30 days for free. And I'd love to invite you along. Another piece of hand raiser content could be, do you prefer networking online or in person? So again, it's just getting people to somehow engage. They're not telling me that they want to buy, but they're at least telling me that they're interested enough that I can open up a conversation with them. So those are your 5 actions. And if you take these 5 things and you do them for 30 minutes a day, every day, I can guarantee you that you will start to see results quickly. Certainly within 5 days. So why not plan in a 30-minute block each day for the next 5 working days to practice this? Put this theory to the test. And honestly, the key thing that I want you to remember from this episode is that most of your quickest sales and wins are already in your world. You don't need to do 101 complicated things. The quickest route to sales is generally through having good conversations with warm people who already know, like and trust you. And if you're earlier on in your business journey and people don't know, or enough people don't know, like and trust you, then that has to be your priority. How do you get people to know, like and trust you? So pick 1 or 2 of these actions and do them today. And I do have some resources that will help you listed on my website at annapayne.online/everything. And you can find that via the link in the show notes. And if this episode has been helpful, I would love you to share it, to leave me a review, or to let me know on socials that you have listened. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you in the next episode.